So, why are we blind? Now, first off, I just want to qualify that you'll notice that it's not everybody who doesn't notice that they changed out the actor in the first video, right? Not everybody gets distracted. Not everybody is so focused on the counting the basketballs that they don't notice the gorilla. So not everybody is blind. I will throw out though on the gorilla example that if you got the right number of that if you noticed the gorilla, you probably didn't get the right number of passes. Having your attention pulled by the presence of the gorilla probably distracted you from the task at hand. You might have overcompensated and said, oh, I must have missed a couple of passes and sort of added that on and maybe got wrong in the sense of having too many, or you might have had too few as you came back and just started counting again. But why are we blind? Why do we see these kinds of errors? One is so that we can establish coherence in our environment. To make the scene coherent, we must devote our visual attention to those parts of the environment that we are paying attention to, right? That we think are important. And so we need to focus on the person that we're giving directions to, or maybe we're looking at the map, not even the person, right? So we're looking at the map, or maybe we're actually looking inside of our head at our mental map of the area so that we can give decent instructions. And so who I'm exactly talking to isn't as important at the moment. I'm not going to see them again. As soon as I get done telling them the instructions, they're going to walk away. This isn't my friend. This is a stranger who needs help. So what is the most important is that I'm visualizing the directions that I need to give. Like that's the most important thing. And so I need to pay my attention to my knowledge of the location, and should I tell them to turn right or left at that place? Maybe there's two ways to get where you're going, and I could give you like the faster one or the one with a better view, or like I'm thinking all these thoughts. And that's the important thing. That's what I've been asked to do. My task was to give instructions. My task was not to memorize the person I'm giving instructions to. So is it really a failure that you don't recognize that they changed out? Not really. That wasn't my task. My task was to give instructions. In the one with the gorilla, in order to pay attention to the balls passing, and because there were two balls passing, I needed to deliberately pay attention to the people with the white t-shirts and pay attention to what their ball was doing and not get confused by the other ball. So the best thing to do is to sort of ignore the black shirted players. Well, the gorilla was black. So to make the scene coherent, I need to ignore anything that's black, and I need to be focusing in on the white shirted players and the ball that they're passing. That's how you make the scene coherent. Attentional set. The word set is something we'll see a few times in this class. The word set is sort of an old-fashioned psychological term for expectation. So you are expecting certain things to happen in the situation. And so you're paying attention to those things that are coherent, are corresponding to what you're expecting to see in the situation, and you're ignoring the things that have nothing to do or that don't fit your expectations. So once you've decided on something, you're going to focus on that. All right, so I got interrupted there and can't remember what I was talking about, so I'm just going to move to the next topic, which is culture. So Westerners tend to focus on the central area of a visual field, whereas people from Eastern cultures tend to focus on the periphery. And so people from, depending on which culture, might be blind to different aspects of a visual scene. Kind of an interesting difference. So maybe culture will help to determine why one person notices something and another person doesn't. Now, magic shows us a lot of different ways that attention can be manipulated, really, right? A lot of times magic relies on misdirected attention. This is an example of stimulus-driven attention when, you can draw the attention of the audience to something salient, but it's really irrelevant to the trick. So that they won't notice what you're doing with this other hand because there's really bright light goes off, or the attractive assistant is doing some kind of waving around of the curtain or something, and that attracts the attention of the audience and causes them not to notice how the trick's actually done. So I've got loaded in the playlist this wiki how on how to misdirect your audience on coin and card magic, and it's really just a great example of how you can use a manipulation of attention to achieve your goals. So I'll see you on the other side of that.